In this video, I'm going to break down the 10 biggest myths to growing your YouTube channel. The first is you need to post every day. Now, my strategy is to post high quality long form videos that are well thought through, but then also have long form videos that can be chopped up and made into shorts. And so far with the new channel, I found that even though I've only got a handful of subscribers, they've all come from shorts, not from long form. I think it's important to balance out your content production. I still believe that you should post every day, but I wouldn't post long form content every day because it's too hard to get the quality in a daily upload. But I would definitely recommend posting short form daily to get fast traction. Myth number 2, the algorithm is out to get small creators. I don't believe this is true either, because if you search for a topic, it's very rare that you'll see a piece of content from many years ago. Even in like the photography and videography niche, which I'm passionate about, if I search for a video on a certain topic, then really popular videos that have got millions of views from years ago from big creators don't get surfaced. I'd say there's more of a recency bias than there is a big account bias. In other words, videos that are posted in the last year or two tend to get favored. That's my experience. Even if you've got a big competitor, then don't be dissuaded is my advice. That being said, there's also certain channels that I find consistently come up. I think you do need to hit a threshold. If you're sub 1,000, I think it's definitely harder to get your videos surfaced. Not to contradict myself, but I think there is a certain amount of bias on some accounts on some topics. For instance, setting up a YouTube studio, that's a big topic in the YouTuber niche, and the big accounts do get favored, I notice. So I think the trick is to create content that's new and unique, or to capitalize on trending topics. And then hopefully you can be the only video on that subject, and then you can gain traction from there. You need expensive gear to get started. This may have been true a few years ago before the era of the high quality smartphone camera, but now Hollywood movies are being shot on smartphones. If you've got a relatively new phone, the chances are it's got a really high quality camera. The thing it probably won't be very good at is performing in low light, because low light is relating to the sensor size, and the sensor size in a smartphone camera is not going to be the same as what I've got here with a Sony A7C full frame camera. If you're filming outside at night, or your setup is in a dark room and you don't light it properly, then the graininess will likely appear. My advice is the lighting is more important necessarily than the camera. Also, to get the shallow depth of field or the bokeh or creaminess of the blurred background you can see. Again, typically smartphone cameras won't be able to get the same level of bokeh and blurriness that you see here behind me. I've got a 1.8 20mm Sony lens on this camera, and I've got it at 1.8 now, so that's what's giving it that nice creamy blurred look behind me. If I was to use my phone, it probably wouldn't look as good and you wouldn't get the depth of field. And so it would look like I'm much more compressed in the frame, and you'd see more detail in the background, which is distracting. For me, I think it's worth the investment of a full frame camera. But when you're getting started, it's all about other things like lighting, audio, and camera presence that are initially the best things to practice. Shorts will cannibalize your long form content. Apparently, they are two different recommendation systems. In theory, that shouldn't be happening. In many ways, they should complement each other. If people are finding you via shorts, they should then find your long form content and vice versa. Tags are crucial for discoverability. Tags across all platforms have become less and less relevant. The algorithms understand your video from transcribing it and from the description. It's important to get a good hook and a good first 30 seconds. That's way more important than any tags. You should make content for everyone. This is another myth, I believe, because the challenge there is the algorithm needs to understand what your content is about. If you're constantly switching subjects, that will confuse the algorithm. It won't know who to recommend it to, and you'll then struggle to grow. It is important to have a niche for your YouTube channel. Subscribers are the most important metric. No, click-through rates and watch time are the two most important metrics. You could have 100,000 subscribers, but if only 1,000 people are watching it because you have weak click-through rates, weak content, and weak engagement, then that's not important. What matters is, are you getting great videos produced? Are you resonating with your audience? Do you understand the content they want? That's far more important than just a subscriber total. You've missed the boat. YouTube is too saturated. I would say the opposite is true. Demand is actually growing more than supply, especially in certain niches. If I think about myself, I very rarely watch TV these days. I watch maybe 1 hour a week of TV. And if I'm doing that, then many other people are also doing the same. My mentality is, I don't care who my competitors are. I'm going to aim to produce better, higher quality content than they do. And if you have that mentality, I don't think you should ever consider your market saturated. Going viral is the goal. Going viral is, again, one of those myths where everyone loves to get the big numbers. Subscribers is what really matters. Just views on their own is a vanity metric. A vanity metric being something that sounds good, but how much value is it actually delivering? Often the viral videos, the silly ones, which have entertainment value, don't have much educational value, and therefore don't turn into real customers for your business. You need to show your face. That's not actually true. There are huge channels where they're completely faceless. But I believe if you are running a service-based business, then you really do need to put your face on camera.